Hello YouTube, this is Richard, founder of ShortTermRentalSecrets.com and Airbnb Superhost. On today's video, we're going to go literally live as I search for an upcoming trip that I'd like to take personally to Paris. I think it's going to be interesting for me to look as a guest staying in other people's homes for what's available, and I also want to compare and contrast Homeaway versus Airbnb. We've done some videos in the past where we've talked about listing on both, and I've suggested that, in my opinion, Homeaway was more suited towards second homes and vacation resort type areas. So Paris is obviously a world-class metropolitan destination. I'm curious to see, as I've not done anything, this is going to be completely live, what Homeaway has to offer versus Airbnb. We're going to talk about the product, we're going to talk about the layout, we're going to talk about the thumbnails, and really the point here is for me to look through an unfiltered lens and share with you some of my thoughts so that we can learn and benefit from people's listings as well as the things that both Airbnb and VRBO are showing from an SEO perspective. So I've intentionally recorded this in incognito mode on Google Chrome so that there's no cookies. In theory, Airbnb nor Homeaway will recognize me as a host or a prior guest. It's not going to be showing me anything that a first-time person wouldn't go to. So let's go ahead and get started right away. I'm going to go to Airbnb, and I'm going to go to Paris, France. I would like to travel June 22nd, checking out on the 26th, and 2 adults. Apply. So the first thing I note when I take a look at Airbnb is over here they've got it listed as for you, and it shows me just booked in Paris, and then it's showing me experiences, and almost below the fold, I have to scroll down, does it show me homes in Paris, and then places and food and drink experiences and art and design experiences, fashion experiences, sports experiences. It's clear to me that Airbnb is really pushing their experiences, and so this might be an opportunity for hosts, and I'm going to film another video, it's on my to-do list, about how to maximize additional revenue using Airbnb as an entrepreneur. And it's clear, as you see here, that they are really pushing these experiences. It looks like some of them are doing quite well. 87 reviews for Meet the Funniest Guy in the Museum, 61 5-star reviews for a cruise through the Secret Gardens. So like, not only are they promoting it, but people are booking it and making some money. But let's deal with that after the fact. What I really want to focus on is homes. So I'm going to go over here and click on the homes, and the first thing that I see is that there's others looking. 419 people are searching for the exact same dates as I am, and I think that the size of the images is really helpful. It draws me into what it is that I might be renting. And then there's the map over here, and one of the nice things I see on the map is it shows me the prices and the location, and when I click on a thumbnail, or not click, but I hover over a thumbnail over here, it actually shows me in green which the property is. Now, guess what? One of these has already caught my eye immediately, and that's this one. And the reason is, when I talk about selling the dream, I mean, I see myself sitting on this balcony with the view of the Eiffel Tower, and I'm just drawn to it. And I'm drawn to it so much more than any of the other ones that just show me a sofa, and even though it's nice, you know, when I think of Paris, I think of the Eiffel Tower, I think of sitting outside on a little balcony, I think of having, in this particular case, they show orange juice, which is probably nice because coffee might be hard to show. You know, the clear glass with the orange is nice contrast. So whoever's thought about this photo and this thumbnail has done a really good job, and I'm most likely to click on this immediately. And you can see too, others have as well. There's 195 star reviews, which is great. They've also made it really clear that it's got a 360-degree view, and I think that we're going to come back to that. I just want to scroll down a little bit more and see if anything else captures my interest. Here's one that I just think, you know, really could use some help. Romantic stay in Paris. You know, there's nothing romantic about this image at all. In fact, it's a small little table with 2 and a flat screen. I don't see any personality. I don't see any plants. I don't see any artwork. I don't see any rugs. I don't see anything that captures the mind as far as romantic stay in Paris. So I'm just going to click through and see if perhaps there's a better thumbnail that might be superior. And I can see that it's a small, I mean, it's a 2-bedroom, but this image here at least is a little bit better than just the flat screen. It's not going to draw me in for my stay, and I wouldn't call it romantic necessarily, but I just think that the thumbnail that they've chosen really doesn't do them any service. They do have some shots of the neighborhood, which is nice, but this first thumbnail shot is just really, really poor in my opinion. So as I continue to look to see if there's anything, here's another one that I think does a really nice job. Private room with Paris, private room with breakfast in Paris, and you see the croissants and you see the fresh fruit. You know, again, they're selling the dream. This little modern flat looks really nice and inviting. It's got some personality to it. So I'm just scrolling through, and there's 17 pages, 300 plus rentals. Let's go to my first choice, this one, and just see what it has to say and offer. So I've actually clicked on it now, and there's the thumbnail. John is a superhost, which is fantastic. Located on the most beautiful avenue of the world. I mean, that's nice. It's telling me that it's really beautiful. He has, here's a great thing. I talk a lot about transparency. Important. He's drawing this fact out now. There's a new elevator completed and the building is still under renovation. That's critical, because if I went there and I wanted no disruptance and I had a lot of luggage, or I was elderly, or I didn't want to deal with any construction, I can't stay here. But if I look at this and I say, you know what, I can deal with that, maybe I'll ask a few questions. He set the stage and the expectation, and I'm okay with that. Cleaning fee is $45. That's way low. I think John could be charging a lot more. I'm sure it costs him more than that. Strict cancellation policy. Let's see here. There's the location, 190 reviews. It looks like they get dinged a little bit on cleanliness and on value. Fantastic apartment with even greater views of the Eiffel Tower. To check in was smooth and without any flaws. The apartment was clean and orderly. Everything was expected. I would definitely recommend it. Location, this place has amazing views of the Eiffel Tower. John's apartment's an absolute dream. Okay, I mean, I think we're getting a sense for people really like it and it works. Now let's take a look at some of the photos. Let's see. View photos, okay. Well, that's gorgeous. That's also quite nice. Okay, I get it. Now show me perhaps where I'm going to be living. So far everything is outside, so I'm already less interested. It feels like he's hiding something. Okay, this is the first shot of the interior and it looks kind of small. Again, more exterior, more exterior. Okay, there's some interior. I feel like by now that I've clicked on 7, 8, 9 photos, and this is the first interior shot, that he's like hiding something, so he's lost a little bit of trust, which is counter to what you want to do, right? So if you have great outdoor shots, your next shot should be of the indoor, within reason. Let's keep clicking. Again, more outdoor, more outdoor, more outdoor. Okay, there's a bedroom, and that's a really nice bedroom. I would have that as my second or third shot so that people say, wow, unbelievable balcony and breakfast and views of the Eiffel Tower, and look at this beautiful modern bedroom. This is now his 15th out of 40th shot. It should not be 15. Here's a nice living room. This is fine. This is fine. I would be pushing all of these way more forward and not be pushing the outdoors. While it's awesome, and I think it should be your thumbnail and maybe even the second photo, I wouldn't necessarily make this big a deal of it. There's the first bathroom shot, clean, modern. I like it. No objections. I like the way the towels are folded. So, I feel like he's doing himself a little bit of a disservice by sort of shying away and hiding it. So anyway, I give this a really interesting, very likely booking from me. Okay, so now let's take a look at the VRBO offering, and for whatever reason, I like the Homeaway interface from when I've used it before. Again, this is my first time on it. I'm using the incognito mode so that there's no cookies, it doesn't know who I am, and you're going to see in real time sort of what I see and what I think about as a potential guest. I'm filling out the same dates, the 22nd of June through the 26th, 2 adults, no pets, and let's search. So the first thing is it seems slower a little bit. The second thing, which is kind of interesting, that draws my mind is I have this huge map, takes up 2/3 of the screen, and then over here on the left, I have much smaller photos of the listings. It's almost too small, although it does show me that 66% of the Paris listings are booked, and that I should also, a sense of urgency, book soon to reserve the best property. So from a user perspective, I think this is already inferior. I also don't like the fact that there's an ad placed here to go to New Zealand. I'm going to Paris, not New Zealand. And I'm just clicking through to sort of get a sense for what this user interface feels like and looks like. I like this popular button. It sort of draws my attention to it. But it's really hard to sense for what I'm looking for over here, and these ads are really distracting. So I guess what they're trying to do here from a user perspective is get you to figure out where you want to stay and then click on that home, because why else would the map be so big? But then what pops up is just so tiny. I mean, this is just a bad user experience. Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't make the thumbnail bigger. I like the fact that I can click on a map. I don't think it should be the biggest thing on the screen, and I don't think that the pop-up should be so small. But I'm having a difficult time really sort of navigating this and picking between them. So I'm going to try something different. And here, you know, real design, it's going to attract the people that find this interesting and want to stay there. It's going to repel people that don't find this red velvet or velour sort of attractive. But it's going to draw people that are drawn to it, and I think that's really great. And here you can see the second shot is of the outside, and then the third shot is of a different bedroom, or that whole thing. This is a really nice, interesting shot right here. You can see the bedroom and how it plays in with the rest of the apartment, and you can see interesting features and interesting chandeliers. And this is just a very interesting space, and the people that want that interesting, local, high fashion aesthetic are really going to like this place. You can see they're selling a little bit of the dreams, the croissant and the coffee, a very tiny kitchen, more baguette. So I think this is a very interesting place. I don't know that the headline is so great. Location, location, location. Walk to all sightseeings, restaurants, and shoppings. You know, I think I get the point. And since you have limited characters, I don't know that you need to repeat location, location, location 3 times, even though that's sort of the saying. I might highlight something else. And so in a nutshell, I would say comparing the Paris listings on Airbnb to the Paris listings on Homeaway, they both seem to have a lot of listings, which I'm surprised by. I would have thought that Homeaway would have fewer listings, but they have 300 plus results, so that's impressive. I think they both have a wide range of price points, so that's helpful. I think that the user experience and interface on Airbnb is much more guest-friendly and paints the romance associated with one of the most romantic cities in the world. These little thumbnails here are poor. The little pop-up thumbnails on the map are really hard to see. I really don't like these ads. I understand that Homeaway is for profit, but like, this is a bad user experience. And then I think that on the Homeaway website, they have the scale much better. The photos are the right size. They also have the smaller thumbnails when you click on a location, but somehow it doesn't bother me as much because everything else is sort of in scale. And this is nitpicky sort of stuff, but as a guest, these are the things that I'm going to look to book, and I'm going to do a little bit more homework and decide whether I'm actually going to go on this trip and which place I'm going to book. But I just wanted to share with you some initial impressions so that you see how somebody might be looking at a foreign city, at a foreign flat, some of the things and observations that somebody would be contemplating, what works well and what doesn't work well. And in a nutshell, as a host, you should be on both, because not everybody's going to do Homeaway and Airbnb and compare them. Some are going to go to Homeaway, some are going to go to Airbnb, some will go to both, but there's no harm or foul to being on both. You just have to spend a few minutes of your time to list on both, and then merge the two calendars so that you don't have any double bookings. And in essence, you can double your business, and I would encourage you to do just that. So I hope you found this helpful. Please go ahead and like the video, leave any feedback, comments, questions. We will address them all. And I really appreciate your time and interest so much that I really encourage you to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. We've got 3 videos per week now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're mixing up content from hacks and pro tips to reviews and addressing your comments and questions. So we've got a lot of great stuff happening. Really appreciate your time and energy, and hope you have a great day. Take care.